When you love,
So you guys are idiots.
When you love Hunter Munter. No.
This is got to be
Hunter Munter.
When you love Monster Hunter that much,
what even the fuck?
Too much tequila.
This has got to be part of the pre-show.
Oh, for sure.
When you love Hunter Munter. No shit.
Wow. What have I missed? I'm back.
You missed the pre-show.
Oh shit! We've recorded literally like 20 seconds of the show, and I'm already fucking crying.
Well,
fucking Hunter Munter.
That Hunter Munter gets you every time.
Hunter Munter.
Episode title. We're back, guys.
Welcome back. Well, welcome back, I guess.
Thanks, Jen.
Hardcore Casuals, episode 16. Yeehaw.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
Sweet 16. We're young ladies now, ready to go out on the town.
So does this mean this is going to be like a really expensive party?
Yes.
Okay.
We're bringing out all the big guns here. CGI for a podcast.
My laser light show.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that was, I don't even know. I derailed us right out the gate. Well, we're all here and we're mostly healthy now, except for Dan, who's still getting over all of the sicknesses.
Pretty much.
Dan is just a petri dish of shit.
I have low immunity to status ailments.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought I would say this, but I'm really glad that Dan lives very far away from me with all of those.
Just be glad you don't live near three kids that are in kindergarten. That's pretty much it. Well, sorry, it's just bacteria.
Tiny little germ factories.
Yes.
Little disease carriers.
Dan's
I
like
love
the
them,
guy
but
in the
they're trying
party.
to kill me.
Dan's like that guy in the party that's like, I need healed. And we're like, dude, we just started. We just left the base.
We haven't even seen a monster yet.
We're already out of mana.
They need some milk.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, it's fair to say that our main topic this week, the only topic that there is going to be Monster Hunter.
Fishing Planet.
Fishing Planet. Catfish Combat. Yes. I hope you all picked that up on the holiday sale. Because it was out there. And the bass one that
Sorry, I spent a little Monster Hunter music for us there.
Uh-oh. I'm going to have to go adjust my washer. God damn it. Can you hear it now?
It sounds like a euphemism for something.
Oh,
It gets so angry.
I'm gonna go,
washer.
I'm going to go adjust my net
I'm
and
sorry,
my washer.
guys. I had
And
to
my
go
bowl.
fix that.
A few moments later.
Should we be worried about her and her dryer at this point? Has it consumed her?
Should we play some battle music, maybe?
Yes.
It's a Dark Souls chest. She went to get open it to see what was going on, and her teeth and ate her.
There we go. Do it, Jen. Damn that washer.
A few moments later.
Oh, God. All right. So now playing. Who's going first? Oh, why not? Ben, alphabetically. Go first.
All right. Well, as with a lot of you guys, minus Josh, really, I'm playing a lot of Monster Hunter, getting really into it. Oh yeah, spoiler warning. Sorry, that's a big one. It's an amazing game, really. Just really enjoying it, having a great time playing with you guys. We enjoyed it on the DS, and now it's infinitely better. But aside from that, really, I was playing Divinity: Original Sin. Finally got my PC running up and able to play it, and I definitely got sucked into it, but Monster Hunter sucked me out. Oh, well, no. Let me rephrase that.
It sucked you harder.
Yeah, there we go. It felt a lot better, so.
Sucked you right out.
I'm just following my instincts. As Peppy says.
Oh my.
But that's pretty much it on my end.
Dan?
I played a little bit of Dark Souls 3. I took the plunge and started playing that franchise at a very non-early time with the last game of the series. Partly just because I want to, get used to a more technical fighting kind of game before Monster Hunter would come out. So I've been enjoying it way more than I thought I would. Aside from that, I finished up Assassin's Creed Origins, got through the campaign, and needless to say, Monster Hunter World as well.
Yay.
Which we'll be talking about a little
Assassin's Creed, was it good? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, honestly, a lot of people, the last two, especially Unity, got a lot of crap. Because it was buggy as hell and everything. But for those who haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a long time, I would highly recommend playing it because they changed up the formula a fair bit. It's very much more RPG than it used to be. They're going in different directions, and for me it works. I'm curious to see what the next game will be like. So yeah, I recommend going through it if you see it on sale.
Jen,
Oh, you're making me go next? I was going to make you go
you're
next.
alphabetically.
I know, but that doesn't
J.E.
mean I
is
can't
before
break the rules.
See, you're making rules just to break them.
That's right.
Ah, kids these days.
Oh, for goodness sake. Fine.
Them kids when they're Hunter Munter.
Get off my lawn.
Sounds like a weird snack,
Hunter Munter?
Yeah.
Are you hunting monsters today? Make sure you take your Hunter Munter.
Protein packed.
For when those hunger pangs hit out in the field. Travel size for your convenience.
You know what the sad thing about that is, though, is whenever you're making it, there's a bunch of cat hair all over the place.
Oh, God. Hairball.
He seems so excited about it whenever he's eating at the cantina.
You make me sad.
Sad but true.
You make me so sad.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll have to make sure that the chef gets a shout out when we talk about Monster Hunter proper here soon. But as far as what I've been playing, I mean, what haven't I been playing? Because it's been a long time, and I have I don't know. There's got to be an official term for gamer ADD, but that's me in a nutshell.
Video game diarrhea.
Ooh.
I don't really think that's accurate because diarrhea is unpleasant.
That's also accurate.
And this is not so much, but I've been playing. So there's a game that I got through the PS Plus freebies some time ago called Hue. I've been playing that on the Vita. That's my bedtime game.
Read me a story.
It's yes. I recommend playing it. It's on both PS4 and Vita, and it's kind of like it's a puzzle game, but you change the color of the background, and depending on what color the background is, there are blocks that you can either see or not see. So it changes the environment a little bit, and it's kind of like a puzzly kind of thing. You have to go through a room, and you get a key, and then you can get to the door, and you have to figure out how to get there. It's pretty fun. It's not super involved or anything, but I like it. I have all the colors now, which makes me happy. Other than that, I've been playing some Rocket League, which I'm sure Josh is about to talk about as well.
Yep.
Yes. I forgot about that.
And I did want to talk for a minute about Hellblade, because I played it and I actually finished it, which is that's an achievement in and of itself right there. If you have not played Hellblade and you are at all remotely interested in it, get it. Play it. I recommend it so much.
All right, gosh.
Gosh, get it. Go get it. Do it now.
Especially when it was on sale. That was an excellent buy.
Yeah,
Glad I did that.
Yeah, that's when I picked it up because it was on sale and I was interested in it. I would say definitely play it with a headset because of that whole help me.
Binaural microphone.
Binaural.
Yeah, like help me. What's the actual word? But the audio thing is it's crazy how much it puts you in the game with that audio. Like there's always, everywhere you go, there's always voices talking to you, and they're usually heckling, which is kind of interesting because it's a little bit too relatable to me. They're always telling you can't do it. They're like, you can't do it. You're not going to make it. You'll never find it. You know, they're always laughing at you and heckling, and it's like, ooh.
So basically, you played a game with Ryan.
Yes. With the voice of Ryan constantly in your ear. Which means nothing to most of the people, maybe some of the people listening, but to those who know. It's really good, though. It's not I don't remember how many hours the story actually is, but it's not too crazy. There's a lot of really good, like there's fighting, but the fighting isn't really the point. So it's not crazy in depth. Like there's not a whole lot of, combo mastery or anything. It's like once you get it down, you kind of know how it works. It doesn't make it easy, but it's not going to throw anything too new at you from fight to fight. I think it's a really interesting game because she has that whole like psychosis thing going on, and for most of the game, I don't think this really counts as a spoiler. I don't think it is, but I had a hard time for most of the game because I was struggling with is this really happening or is she imagining this?
Right.
Like, is any of this really happening? And then at some point, I came to the realization that it doesn't matter because to her it's real. So whether or not it's really happening to her, it is really happening. And it just kind of, that was the moment when it all just kind of clicked for me. And there was some really good, later in the game, there's an area that you go through that is amazing, just so dark and intense and trippy that moment alone, and I won't say what it is or where it is or anything about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really good. Really good. And the thing that I think resonated the most for me is at some point somebody tells her the hardest battles are fought in the mind. And just that statement is so, it's true. It's very true. So, anyway, I mean, I'm not going to wax all weird and poetic, but highly recommend. And there's a little documentary that comes with the game about how they made it, which you are not allowed to watch until after you play, because it definitely has spoilers in it. So
good to know.
But it's interesting because it talks about how they did the audio and how they researched the psychosis, and it's really cool. Just go play the game. Play the game.
Do it.
Do it. And other than that, Monster Hunter, of course. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Josh, go.
All right. Well, I'll make life super easy here because a couple of these are going to make Jen happy because they were Jen suggestions or Jen gestions.
Hello.
Was playing some Crypt of the Necrodancer finally. I bought it during the holiday sale and just procrastinated playing it until now. And it's pretty darn fun. Also, it is.
Yeah.
Also, Enter the Gungeon
Yay!
So that's been fun. I think it is a good fun play on words with the fact that you go into the dungeon and all of the enemies are based off of bullets or guns or something of the like.
Yeah, I can't remember if we've talked about Gungeon. Like, I don't know if we've recorded since that came up on the sale, but like that's a good one too. I recommend that game.
Yeah.
That was
with the Gatling Gull.
The Gatling Gull
Yes.
and the Trigger Twins.
I know.
Yep.
So those have been, kind of the most portion of things. Have been playing a good bit of Fortnite sprinkled in there with those, kind of on the low end of things. A good number of games of Gran Turismo, kind of getting back into my my full bore, real life driving.
Driving etiquette simulator.
So you say, just because you're a bad driver, just.
I'll have you know that I'm a fine driver. I just don't want to deal with all of that realism in my video games.
But then I'll go for my, well, let's see here. I got 100% of the driving school done with all the golds. I'm at about 70% of the other stuff with all golds in the campaign mode.
Oh, damn.
I've got probably 30-some cars, and I was actually pleased to see that whenever my birthday roamed around, I got a free car for my birthday, too. They were just like, hey, we saw it was your birthday. Here's a free car.
Nice.
I wish that would happen in real life, because, I just roam into the Tesla dealership right now, like, hey, just get one of those. All my pre-orders are set for the next 5 years.
Happy birthday!
So, and then, whole lots and lots of Rocket League, has been my good fun time game here. Just because it's, taking all any frustrations that you have. I don't think you can get through a match of Rocket League, especially a private match with your friends playing Rumble, which is Mad Max turned cartoon, but hilarious. The giant spring boxing gloves and boots that you're putting to people, trying to catch the ball on spikes and run it into the goal, teleporting between spots and switching places with somebody, or just hitting somebody with a never-ending boost that they can't control or stop from.
Or trolling people with the basketball mode.
Yeah, trolling people.
Oh my gosh, that is the worst thing ever.
Hey, I just thought we'd try it out.
No, I was just kidding. Yeah, but it was intense.
It was bad. It was pretty bad. And by pretty bad, I mean real bad.
It was the worst.
I gotta tell you though, the hockey mode,
that was fun as hell.
snowy mode is kind of where I fit my bread and butter here recently, because it's been playing good goalie.
Yeah, like I'm not very good at Rocket League, but I feel like I really can rock a good hockey puck. Like I can make that happen.
So that's been fun. So speaking of, well, actually, should we start with my random package from the mail, and then unravel that, or do you guys want to start a different way for your
Oh yeah, sure. Let's talk about your package, man.
All right. Well, I don't get to do it often, so
Hashtag innuendo.
Do we want to
Innuendo.
do we want to start with our little saga, the Monster Hunter saga, before we get to the current day
That's where
might be a good way to
question
segue.
was.
Once long ago.
Oh shit, wrong one. Sorry.
That's not intro saga music.
This would be a good time for the I'm in a safe space Horizon Zero Dawn music, that little violin-y tune. Probably be a good spot for that to start off,
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
God damn it.
But that is ruining our saga right now.
I'm trying to make it
set the
authentic.
mood.
People are going to say, that movie was great, but the soundtrack, this just didn't fit at all.
There it is. You can start, Jen.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So
I
I don't know, Jen, do you want to start it off?
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's back it up a bit and talk about our long history. Well, it's not long, but it's longer than the recent history with
so
Monster
long.
Hunter. Oh goodness. We I don't remember how. Oh, it must have been when Dan got his 2DS, 3DS, 2DS, 2.
I'm trying to remember. Did I have the 2DS or was it before I got it?
It was
might have been my
before.
3. Yeah, it was my 3DS because I didn't have ye old nub. So it was with my 3DS, which I ended up trading in for the 2DS XL.
Right. Okay. I just remember at some point you went on a quest. The quest
Yes.
for more games.
Yes, but I already had 4 Ultimate at that point. I think. Or I tried the demos. I tried the demos, yes. I tried the demos. Yeah.
But the demos, and it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty universal, or maybe it's just us. I don't know, but we all
They
agree.
suck hard?
The demos suck hard.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so did, obviously the beta followed suit. But we... Shut up, Josh.
Go on.
You'll get your chance. You'll get your chance, damn you.
Don't worry. I won't hurt your baby.
Oh, goodness. I see you over there. You've got the rocks. You're ready to throw them
No,
at our
I
poor
won't throw any
delicate,
rocks at you.
our poor delicate.
I told you earlier I would be nice.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you will. Me. So I don't know. We played the demos and none of us were really impressed. I already had 3 Ultimate and 4 for the 3DS, and I also had 3 for the Wii U prior to that. So I had the most experience with Monster Hunter out of all of us. But because I had 4, Dan and Ben both went and got 4, and we tried it out and discovered, and apparently, I don't know, I had memory lapse, or I just didn't really, maybe I didn't like it back then, and then I got into it later when we tried it again, but we played, and it turned out that we actually really liked it. So we noodled around with the multiplayer, but like Nintendo is in the dark ages of internet, and you have to get out the 2 cans with the string between them
And send Morse code messages.
Morse code messages, yeah.
Somehow with the can of string, which makes it even more awkward.
Was that a dash or a dot? I don't recognize that letter. Dang
Dang you,
is
Campbell's.
Yeah.
I'm going to upgrade to Progresso tomorrow.
Damn it, Bill!
So, we played that for a short time. Ben went hard. Dan and I not so much.
Party foul.
What did you do, Ben? You played like 40 hours or something.
In like 2 days.
In like
No, it wasn't 2 days. It was a couple days. So 2 days. Couple sounds better than 2. No, I mean, it wasn't 40 hours, but I just got addicted to the grind. You know, it's one of those games that has a formula that's just so spot on. It's very good. I mean, it's, you know, I'm sure we're going to get into it, but it's one of the formulas that you either love or you hate, you know?
Yeah.
But it's definitely for the people who it resonates with, it gets its hooks in really well.
People who like Monster Hunter like it a lot.
De laka a lot.
But we knew that World was coming. It had already been announced at that point. So we kind of put down the 3DS ones and moved on to other games because we were like, well, you know, this is good, but I feel like I have a good feeling about this World game.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward.
Feel it in your bones.
Feel it in my bones.
And we were so excited for Destiny 2 back then.
Oh, how naive we were.
Yeah, that was, yep. Well, we're not going to talk about that. Everybody makes mistakes, including us, believe it or not. But fast forward, and they finally gave us a beta for Monster Hunter World, And the three of
It was
us... Shush! You'll get your chance. Will you take a seat? The three of us, knowing how Monster Hunter betas work, played it and immediately recognized the greatness. Like, there are so many
That was not there.
quality of life updates, and just it looked better, etc., etc. I'm ignoring him. You all should ignore him too. Just ignore him. His Captain Negative over here. But we knew, like, immediately, that was the moment we knew that this was going to be great. And I pre-ordered it immediately. I think Dan and Ben waited a short amount of time after that, but I jumped the gun.
Yeah, but it was a done deal. Like, we knew it was...
Yeah, we knew. So, we
I
tried,
canceled my pre-order just to pre-order it again.
just so you could do it twice. We tried really hard to get Josh into this game. We played the beta with him. He played it by himself. He tried several weapons. He did not see the greatness. He did not feel the love. But we, in our infinite wisdom,
Infinite lack of wisdom.
knowing that Monster Hunter betas do not do the game justice, split the cost and pre-ordered Monster Hunter World for Josh.
We love you, man.
On the off chance that he might be swayed to the light side and enjoy it.
I thought we were pretty confident. I was starting to get doubts there in the middle, but we were like, we're going to do this because we can definitely, bring him to the light side.
I mean, we were going to try. At the very least, we were going to try. I don't know if we knew whether or not it would work, but at the very least, we would net the obligation play, and he would be forced to give the game a proper chance. And we did it out of love.
Yes.
But now, Josh, from your perspective, what was going on in your world?
All right. Well,
We're going to try not to interrupt either, okay? We're gonna
No,
be
you're
respectful
good.
like he was ago.
Of course.
yeah,
We will.
naturally. Naturally. So I remember you guys, especially with Dan's, quest of games. You guys were all like super excited about it, but I've never at any given point been excited for a Monster Hunter release ever. I haven't ever been into, grindy games that were there just to grind for no reason. Which is probably why I thoroughly discussed this game, or I'm thoroughly disgusted with the game.
Destiny, mindless grind.
Well, no, so here's the thing. So if you remember, I didn't start Destiny until The Taken King was way out and people were already kind of late in it. So I caught up on all the story that people said was not there and hated vanilla Destiny for, because I had the whole story to catch up on. And then I had, met you guys through other friends and playing this. So it was like, all right, this is a fun, cool thing to do. And then I still had to go back through all the old raids that I'd never been through. I had a bunch of stuff like, Prison of Elders things that I had never been through. So I had basically a bunch of content that was fun to play with people that I hadn't been, beat to death with. And so that's why Destiny lasted so long. It was because I started getting actually okay at doing some of the raids. And then I enjoyed showing other people that didn't know what to do, how to do it. But then, right there towards the end, it did really start to wear. It was just like a bunch of crud. But anyway, fast forward into where we're at here with Monster Hunter. Actually, I'll you guys may get a good kick out of this. A long while ago, my wife and I were playing one of these like stupid Facebook games, and it was one of those like you had a couple of tasks that you could try to pull off, but it was grindy. And after a while you got new stuff that you could get, but in the end of things, it was all really just the same grind.
Farmville?
It was one of those offshoots. It was not Farmville. but it was, I think, Frontierville. I think it was.
One of the bills.
Okay,
One of the
so
bills. Yeah.
you're telling us that you're enjoying that more than Monster Hunter.
No, because I played it pretty crazy for, a couple of weeks. But the funny part is that my wife thought, she's like, oh, he's playing this heavily. So she went out and bought one of those video game cards that they had where you could buy shit on the game and put it in my Christmas stocking.
Nice.
And I'm sitting on the couch playing. I had vacation. I'm just kind of chilling out, doing my thing. And I played it, and I literally had this moment where I'm like, what in the hell am I doing? And I told her, at that moment, I was like, you know what? No, I'm done. And she's like, wait, what? And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not going to play this game ever again.
I totally get that. I mean,
and she had a meltdown. She's like, no, because she knew that she had bought that gift card that was waiting for me in my Christmas stocking that I just ended up giving to her anyway. So, is what it is. But, I've hit a long while ago where I can't get into the grindy games. I can't grind just to grind. If there's no story, if there's no reason behind the grind, then I can't. That's why I can't do the Diablo thing. It's just and that's what shut me off as soon as the story was done in the Division. And it was just, hey, you can just go to the Dark Zone and grind. No, thanks. I'll stop playing altogether. Thanks. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we hit Monster Hunter and the beta came out and you guys were super psyched about it, I was like, all right, I'll download the beta and we'll give it a shot. And right off the bat, this, all right, for those of you who love Monster Hunter are already playing it, shut your ears. But, and I know, Dan, this is gonna curl your toes up a little bit because you've already heard this a number of times and tried to defend it. And as many times as I can say that it's not what you're defending, it's still the case. The targeting, where if you target an animal, there is no actual targeting. It's basically just a spot that the camera will move around, but you can't strafe. So if I were hunting or fighting something, I would try to square up to fight it. I wouldn't try to, hey, I have to run directly to the right. And if I accidentally swing my sword or my weapon or whatever it is that's out there, I'm going to swing it off to the left, miss everything completely and screw myself over. There's no strafing. So that's one thing that kind of really got to me. So it wasn't necessarily targeting the enemy itself because you can hit R3 and put a, red X on something and the camera kind of follows it. But actually not having a targeting system where I could strafe around something and pay attention to what's going on that way was the first negative. Mm-hmm. The second negative is, there's no story. You're driving, the boat. Hey, you're following this dragon thing. Okay, cool. Oh, and it stirred up this other stuff. Go fight that. Go kill that thing and rip some parts out of it so you can make something else. It's like the whole game is basically the one dude that's there at the kitchen trying to tell you how, how to go find shit that's just roaming around that's stirred up that shouldn't be in the spot that it's at.
The Chef Palico is the mastermind behind this game.
Yeah.
He's the final boss.
So that right there immediately turned me into the we're just grinding to grind mode. The third big thing was as soon as you got the weapon, pick a weapon. Does not matter which one. If it's a gun, if it's a sword, if it's dual swords, if it's a staff of some sort, an axe, whatever it is, the moment that you pick that weapon up, you have its complete moveset. There is no development on armor. There's no development on weapons. There's no development on any of that stuff. It is literally, I have all of my combos right now from day one, moment one. I don't learn anything, and that's what I do through the whole game. No matter what enemies you kill, you'll get a stat boost where, maybe it might poison something, maybe you might get, a different status effect, but moment one, I have every combo, every move that I'm ever going to have with that weapon, no matter what part of the tree I'm in, no matter what skill set that I could possibly hope that to benefit, no matter what enemy I kill, nothing. That's it. So it's like all of these things are just negative. It's just not working my way. And then I tried to do single, where I was just roaming around doing a couple of hunts myself there in the beta. Tried to hunt a couple times with you guys, and man, whenever I saw that package at my house, I literally had every thought going through my head of like, just don't even open it. Just take it back. Just don't even open it.
Refuse delivery.
Yeah, and it was one of those like, I'll take it back to Best Buy and tell them to put it towards something else that we're going to play together as a group, as a pre-order. But, I sat there and thought about it and what you guys were saying, and, I kind of like you guys, so I was like, all right, I will give this a fair shake. I will, try to come at it with a clear mind, and I'm going to, try to just do whatever I can do to to go at it. So,
and at least you did that, and it just boils down to that you have horrible taste. That's it.
Well, I mean,
no, that's not one thing I wanted to make a point of.
That's a given.
These are all legitimate arguments. Like,
no, I'm totally just pulling up.
No,
this is one of those.
I'll be the first to say that it's not for everyone. I think for those who like it, love it. Those who hate it just will hate it even more the more they try to play it, and that's case in point what happened with you.
Yeah.
For me, the mechanics, they feel clunky at first, but the more you play, the smoother they feel, and the more, you get a sense of the risk reward. The more you play that weapon that clicks with you, and the more you start to face harder enemies, that, you have to really have a good sense of timing for everything. So
that was the other thing I forgot. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. It's like, I don't want to, counterpoint and argue about it. It's so that, like, I totally get that it could not be your thing, like, ever. I know, like, there's other people I won't even try to sell it on because I know that, it's not their thing either, but, it's the point of view on it, you can't change for sure. I mean, if you don't like a grindy game, this is not for you. If you do like a grindy game, this is one of the most rewarding grindy games out there.
Well, Dan, why don't you make the case for it? Like, why don't you give the good points? Like, why we're enjoying it so much? Why you enjoy it?
Well, I'll let
let me get the last one.
Yeah.
Then all three of us can just shut him down on everything.
There you go. And then you guys can have your moment, and I'll be quiet. The last thing that really got me is, especially with it being a combat game, in any other combat game I've ever played, I have not had an instance where if I'm comboing or trying to attack something, that I run into an instance that if I hit it with the first move and I'm like set into a combo, that I can't like stop combo and attack or change my direction of attack while I'm in the middle of doing it. Cause I can't tell you how many times while I was playing this, I hit the first move of a combo and, immediately like it would glance off of the monster's head or off the side or something like that. And then my character would do like an immediate 90-degree move and end up, attacking thin air because he couldn't come through with the rest of the combo, or, I couldn't readjust my direction while I'm in the middle of fighting. So I just have a number of attacks where it was like, well, you hit the first move and that was it. And it's just like I'm swinging at nothing. So anyway.
And yeah, I mean, I think it's, like Dan was saying, this is one of those perfect examples of a game that really splits its audience. I mean, there are very few of us who actually have like a middle, I don't know. Yeah. There's not, you either hate it or you love it. And
yeah. And I do have to say that, I give you guys kudos for the shot and at it and everything like that. And the reason I kind of poked fun at Dan a little bit at the beginning is because every time I had this argument, Dan was like, well, it's got to be the weapon. You're not using the right weapon. And it was like...
I still think it. I hear you talking about it, and I still think you may pick the wrong ones, but it doesn't matter. It's a done deal.
I used all of the weapons. Or not all of them, but it's like every weapon that was like a big, slow weapon, I used a bunch of those. If it was a shooting weapon, I used a bunch of those. If it was a small, fast weapon, I used those. I just...
Did you try the heavy bow gun, Josh? Did you?
I did. I tried that one in the beta. But anyway.
Tried you in the beta.
Yeah, but you did, didn't you? That's why it was so bad. So.
I feel like the weapon situation there with the timing, that's part of what they call the learning curve. And you
it absolutely is.
Are willing to give it the time. You're either willing to give it the time to learn that timing and learn how the monster is going to move and learn how to hit your combos, or you stand there and swing at air.
So
That's really it.
So I was in there and I used the insect glaive, and surprisingly, it wasn't a bad weapon. But again, it literally went back to, okay, I have this combo, I have that combo, I have a vault where I can jump up in the air and then randomly, like forever, do moves to keep myself in the air, or I might be able to mount the animal and attack it. And it got to the point where every weapon or every animal that I fought, I found a way that I could mount that animal and stab it a bunch of times until it fell over, or until it died. Pick your poison. But then again, that was it. That was all of the moveset. And that's where I was like trying to really give it, like you said, for you guys, give it a reason to be.
No, yeah, and that's legitimate. It's just, I think, to be fair to us also, it gets a lot deeper than that too. I mean, we've gotten to a point where we've developed weapons and sets, and Jen's insect glaive like maining right now, and she's saying stuff and explaining things, and we're like, oh shit, wow, you can do that, wow. So it evolves too. It's not just a static, this is your move set and all, but the different monsters that you get, the different strategies you have to go in if you're playing solo, if you're playing with others. I mean, I totally get where you're coming from too. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember how I started the series.
I think the difference because normally I'm all about that progression. Like, that's what I didn't like about Breath of the Wild, was that you didn't really have that sense of progression because nothing ever got any different or any better. Things kept breaking eventually. I think the difference is this one, you're kind of designed, you're already an expert hunter. Like, this is what you do, this is your life.
Yep.
The difference is, instead of learning a weapon and learning a moveset and learning new abilities, you have to learn the monsters. You have to go out there, and every time you encounter something new, you have to figure it out. How does this Anjanath move? How does it attack? What does it do? What's it weak to?
What is its, what can one-shot me if my gear isn't set up properly? What does it attack with, and all those things. It's you get to know every monster in and out. And that progression of going into it blind and probably getting destroyed the first couple times you fight it, until you keep getting better and learning it, and then you're, handing its ass to it. That's rewarding to me. And that's why, like, a lot of people can, I think erroneously compare the Monster Hunter games to Dark Souls, in that you study what you're doing in it. Like, really, you have to. There's no mistakes that you can get away with at a certain point when you're pushing into the higher levels. Like, the difficulty curve just goes up constantly. And
Yeah, I think that maybe the other part of that kind of bites me is, like, you're already the mucho expert hunter, so you have nothing else to learn.
No, and I get it. That's one of the things that kind of not frustrates me, but it worries me a little bit for the future of me playing, and not you guys, definitely, is that it's a game that doesn't really have a middle ground, meaning that it's essentially boss fight after boss fight. And, you go back to, like, either gathering or kind of doing things at your hub and crafting things, or you're in a boss fight, like this major battle that can last 20 to 45 minutes, and there's no smaller guys. I mean, there are smaller guys, but you take them out in 1 or 2 hits. There's no, like, intermediary action. You can't really, test out your stuff, or I don't know. It's a different game. So I can see kind of where Josh is coming from in that respect, where,
A lot of how the grind works to me, it's MMO light. Like, if you've played World of Warcraft or even Final Fantasy 14, that whole prepping for a battle thing, even the Witcher 3, you've got to go out, you've got to gather your mats, you've got to prepare. It's like, complex for me, it's yeah. But Yeah, like there's a routine and ritual to it, which again, if you hate it, you hate it. But me, I mean, I played MMOs like World of Warcraft for several years, and I never got fed up of it. So
yeah, but it's such a hard game to compare to. Like World of Warcraft has lore, it has a story, it has quests
I'm just talking about like the actual mechanical system end of it. You know, dealing with a lot of UIs, dealing with crafting interfaces, and going out and farming, and then having that that almost raid-like experience with a boss that you're whittling down sliver by sliver. Yeah. Like there's some similarities there, just in terms of like the itch that's scratching for me.
Gotcha.
It's okay, it's just my palico. Don't worry. Oh, this will be one of those agree to disagree things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think it's one of those, like, it either clicks with you or it doesn't. Like, I used to, I mean, if you could have heard me talk about Monster Hunter 4 when Dan was going to get it, I was saying I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I played it. I tried it. I'm not feeling it. Like, it's clunky. I don't know. I just didn't like it. But
we all went through that phase.
Yeah.
that's
like,
the fun part.
It finally got me, and I don't know what that moment was where it finally like made sense to me, and I got it, and I said, this is kind of all right.
Yeah, I had that moment too.
Yeah, I think we all did. Like, we all went through that, like, man, this is bullshit. Why am I playing this? This is stupid. And then all of a sudden it was like, I know why I'm playing this.
Mm-hmm. I think for me it was, and I think for a lot of people it needs to be, is your right weapon. Like, I started off Monster.
Don't you do it?
It was 4. We started on the DS, and I'm always a sword and shield kind of guy, so I went with that, and I heard it was a very easy one to get into and all, but man, I just, for the life of me, could not, it was clunky. Everything that Josh said is what I felt too. I was coming from Destiny 2 with that extraordinary gunplay, and everything needed to be fluid and super, like, responsive, and I had to, like, just concentrate on aiming, not really, timing or anything, and I just couldn't do that with the sword and shield, mainly because I wasn't patient enough, but luckily, I just started experimenting. I don't know if it was Dan who sent me a video or something, but or it was probably Eric's. I saw one of his videos that talked about how his style is like mine, very tanky, and he loved the Lance and the DS games. So, I gave that a try, and there it was. I mean, that just clicked for me. It was what I needed, that thing that gave me the incentive to keep going and learn that muscle memory to finally be like, okay, I don't need to necessarily be able to, like, move left and right all the time. I can dodge, I can evade, but I have these different skill sets, different things that I can do with my weapon that make me feel viable and make me feel like a badass. So, And from there, now I got Monster Hunter World, and I have that muscle memory. I have that understanding of what the weapons are supposed to be like and how you're supposed to play with, how you're supposed to battle. And I can go back to Sword and Shield. I've gone to the hunting horn, which I like love now too. So it's one of those things where you really have to, like, want to do it or just find the itch, like Dan was saying. Really, you got to get that itch, and then from there, it does such a good job of hooking you in and making that rewarding experience.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving the hell out of it. There's just no way around it. I'm with pretty much all the reviews and all the veteran players who are saying it's the best one in the franchise. Like, I think there's no debate on that amongst anyone. I think just the main question is the franchise, is the whole concept of these games it for you? Like, I think there's no one who's played any of the previous ones and liked them who doesn't like World.
Yeah.
So let me actually, I do have one of those. My buddy Mark, who we've played Destiny with a good number of times, a couple other games here and there. He played some of the other Monster Hunter games, liked them, and he is on my bandwagon of, heck no, I'm not buying that. So, which was interesting to hear, because after talking to him and his cousin for a few, DJ Sephifa, it seemed like in talking with Seth that, Mark was going to be all about it, like he was going to go buy it, and that was going to be the end of things, and he was just like, nope. So
did he say why? Like,
yeah,
what is it about it?
That'll have to be a to be continued, because I didn't get a chance to get his why. like what his drawback was. I know he said that, he had played the Monster Hunter games before, and, he did play the beta, and I know that you say the betas are bad and everything like that, but he's like, this looks like just the old Monster Hunter game with better graphics, is pretty much what he said to me. So I'll have to, like I said, I'll have to regroup with him and see if I can get a more in-depth answer. And, if I sit here and I kind of go 100% thinking about this whole thing, that is my big worry about this. I've got folks here that, love this game, you guys and a few other people that we play other games with, that are all about this game. And the thing that's bad with me is, I hear you guys talk about the content if we played like Destiny or played another game and it got stale real quick, and then they had DLC content and it was supposed to be some new stuff. And it was like, okay, well, there's a couple of new things that are cool and this is going on. Like, everything that I'll liken my thought process right now for the whole game into what I said about the character. Everything that you have, move list, etc., is literally what you have right now. You may get some new monsters to go fight, but in the end, I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of new stuff, and it's really going to be just rinse, repeat, same move set, same thing. It's kind of my worry.
Yeah, and while I'm enjoying the hell out of it, I mean, that's something I want to definitely confirm with everyone. I love this game. It is, I have a little worry just in the back of my mind. I think it's because I'm so jaded from freaking Destiny now, and
I think that's what it is too.
Yeah, it has to be, I'm sure. But it's just, I can see that exhaustion factor playing into this game a little bit in the sense of, these are epic battles. Like they're incredibly dynamic, incredibly entertaining, but they are 20 to 40 minute battles every single time. And you are farming for these different kinds of mats, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to see all the monsters, and you're just going to, I don't know. I just the story that Josh said at the beginning with the Facebook thing kind of resonated with me when he's like, what the hell am I doing? It's like, okay, I've completed the quote campaign, the story, and I've gotten these badass sets that I like. Like, where is the stopping point? Like, will I get to that? I feel like, I don't know. I'm just worried about that. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's my worry. But we'll see. I am enjoying the hell out of it.
Jen, you've been quiet. What's your take?
I mean,
she's having moments. She figured out why it's not a good game.
She's gathering some herbs right now.
Josh has convinced me. I'm uninstalling the game right now.
I'm canceling my pre-order. Damn it!
Uninstall noob.
Uninstall your app. No, I'm enjoying it. For me, I enjoy the fashion aspect of this game. Like, I'm not even going to pretend that I don't just love making new armor for my Palico because he's adorable, and upgrading to cool-looking weapons, and putting on cool-looking armor, which I can now change the color of, so pink and purple. Thank you very much. I mean, it's at least, that's a good portion of my enjoyment here. And there's nothing quite like the adrenaline of fighting one monster and you think things are fine, and then suddenly somebody else shows up to play.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got two and sometimes three monsters fighting each other and fighting you and fighting everything all at the same time, because some of these guys are really aggressive. And that's where the
Jesus.
Fun. Yes. Basil Jesus and Anjanath for a long time. Although Anjanath hasn't stopped being scary. I haven't seen a high rank one yet, but like the low rank one, he still really hasn't stopped being scary.
Yeah. Which one was the pink? Was he a high rank or just kind of a in between story one? The pink Anjanath that we had to fight.
Did we have to fight a pink one?
Pink Rathian, you mean?
Yeah, Pink Rathian we fought.
Okay.
I haven't seen the higher rank Anjanath yet.
Hey, Jay.
He's probably horrible. But I mean, there's a video I think I put on YouTube somewhere of a fight that we were doing against one monster where he showed up and then something else showed up and it just turned into a giant mess and I nearly died and there was yelling because I'm an excitable person. But it's a lot of it's fun. It's just fun to do. And I started off with the dual blades because they're super speedy and you don't have to like that issue of timing where like you're swinging your giant charge blade or whatever and you don't hit anything because the monster moved in the meantime is less of an issue.
Yeah.
And I thought that I would be dual blades forever. And then I tried the insect glaive. And I think I found my weapon. Forever insect glaive. I've got a pretty butterfly thing.
Butterfree.
Which actually looks more like a moth. It's more like a pretty white moth. Now that I'm looking at it, but
Mothra.
But it's still fun. Like I realize that the combos don't change a whole lot, but depending on the insect glaive is a little different in that you send your little bug to get extract from the monster. And there are 4 different colors. But depending on which ones you have, your combos change and what you can do change. Your damage changes. Like there's differences there. So there's a little bit of strategy to it, and you have to plan. Like it's going to run out. You know, your extract runs out. You're in the middle of a fight. Oh no, I have to re-up, and you have to manage to get yourself to a position where you can do that without getting demolished by the monster who is still not stopped paying attention to you just because you had to back off for a second. So it's planning and, you know, learning how they operate and knowing what they're weak to and then being able to vault and mount them and beat them up.
Vaulted glass.
And that's, I think, an important thing to mention too, is that the enemies aren't dumb by any respect. The AI is great, they're unpredictable, and even if you know what their bag of tricks is, the environment that you're playing in can change it up. You know, again, we brought up the thing of, you know, unexpected other monsters coming in, and what I like a lot is that you feel the need to perfect that. Like you're talking about the added mechanics of the insect glaive, you know, that adds that extra layer of complexity. You know, as you progress, the monsters you're going to be fighting, they keep getting harder and harder. You won't be able to not have those extracts at the right time, or that can make the difference between, you know, getting killed or getting your mark down. And that's what I'm enjoying about it. Like Charge Blade, at first, I had no idea what I was doing with it. I couldn't remember half the move list, but I was still taking out the easy marks. Then you start pushing, then you get to Anjanath, like we're talking about, you know, that first wall where, okay, you know, this guy is going to kick my ass a few times and then I'll hopefully get him. Then you start perfecting, say, no, this is what I need to do. If I see this move coming, you know, learn how to plan defensively, you know, when to sidestep, work on all that timing. And how everything becomes second nature. Then, you know, you become a better player, even though you have the same skills and the same toolkit as you did at the beginning. You're getting progressively better and perfecting your handling of it. Dead silence.
We're all processing.
Just waiting for Josh to be like grumble.
Nope. No, I mean, I really think no one can argue with the fact that this game is definitely like breaking records, and it's just so fresh. You know, it's a game that's been around, a franchise, a series that's been around for a while, and finally has made it into consoles and come out here and it's huge success in the West, which is awesome. I'm hopeful that this honeymoon phase that I think we're in just lasts forever, you know, and that this is a game that can absolutely have a long lifespan and just keep providing greater games in the series. So
I already feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of this game, just in terms of how much we put into it in 2 weeks. You know, in this time that we spent on this game, in something like Destiny or Division, we would have had max level characters, you know, 3 of them.
A long time
whereas
ago,
whereas this, we're not even through the story yet. Like, we haven't started, you know, we're not in the proper end game yet. And
that's true.
It's
That's true.
the sheer amount of content that we have coming off the disc, off the get-go,
Yeah.
is huge.
And every time I log in, I have a different priority. Like,
Yep.
I sit during the day and I think, all right, I'm going to play this tonight. And when I play this tonight, I'm going to go hunt this monster because I want to get this armor set. And then I get home and turn on the game and do something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just occurs to me like, oh no, wait, I want to go do this instead. So it's just, there's a lot to do. And a lot of it, to Josh's unfortunate confused point, a lot of it does look the same. Like, it's always gonna be, you go out and you hunt something. That's the deal.
It's the same.
Shut up.
No, that's true though. Like, it is the same, but that's what makes people, that's what breaks the, some people love it, some people hate it because of that fact that, it's repetition. It's also, skill and muscle memory and a whole bunch of other factors that a lot of games don't have to depend on. Like, Monster Hunter is literally a boss fight. Hunter? What did I say? Oh, no, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter
It's not like you went to say Monster Hunter, but then you said Monster Hunter, and I thought you had a cheese moment.
Well, at least it wasn't
What
Hunter
about
Hunter.
the monsters?
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Something about, it is a boss battle, so, there isn't that whole, you can go do some patrol missions, or you can do a nightfall, or you can go do a strike, or do some PvP Crucible. I know I'm comparing Destiny, but that's their most recent,
But even then, I won't find that a fair comparison, because at Destiny, at the end game, you've got your Nightfalls, and then once you finish that, you had nothing else other than the raid. And then once you clear the raid, you were finished. I mean, you didn't have, and that's a problem I had with Destiny, even in Destiny 1. As much as I played it, as much as I liked a lot about it, I never felt that, the carrot at the end of the stick to make me want to keep progressing.
No, I get that. I meant as a whole package, though. What can attract someone to this game isn't what would attract them. And Destiny has that pull. You start as no powers, and you have this story arc, then you have the different subclasses you have to perfect, and it's a completely different presentation. Whereas this game, you start off right off the bat not knowing anything. There's not really much of an intro, not much of a tutorial. It's all about learning and just, which is awesome because it makes you feel like, it's kind of silly to say, but it's like the game developers have, made me feel like a badass. Like, they're treating you like an intelligent person. Like, you have to actually learn and study this stuff.
I totally agree.
Which you are. I think one of the reviews
Thanks, Jen.
mentioned. Aw, you're welcome.
Thank
Group hug.
you.
But one of the reviews mentioned that it's like, you're a badass hunter, but you're still stepping into a world that's like, it's unfamiliar with you and you're unfamiliar with it, and these monsters don't really care about you. Like, they're gonna do what they do, and if you interfere with it, they're gonna fuck you up. Mm-hmm. Like, that's, Anjanath sees you walking around and he's like, oh, lunch. Mm-hmm. Right there.
I don't know how many different times I've heard, just being in the party, heard Ryan, oh my god, I'm in his mouth. And I was really,
Yes.
I'm really hoping that wasn't like him playing a different game. But
yeah, I had those moments at the beginning too.
I have an emote now that whenever anyone, mounts a monster, I'm asking if they're in their mouth, but.
Are you in his mouth? Yes. I am in his mouth. And that was one of those unexpected, like, oh my god, he can do that? And there's one of them that picks you up in his claws when he flies around and then slings you across the arena. You're
like a rag doll.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And it does a good job of reminding you of that. Like, screw up hard, like if it gets you pinned down and stunned and then you see it crawling over to you, getting ready to, do that kill shot, you really got that feeling of, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
And to turn around, like the progression in it, I like that you have everything at your disposal at the beginning, because that's where your development is. It's with you. It's not with unlocking skills. It's a total different shift from any other kind of RPG game we're playing where, I'm going to add some stat points or, unlock a new skill as I go along, and you get that kind of progression. Then when you hit the max level, you've got everything and it ends there. Where like in something like Destiny, you're locked behind a timer for your supers, your grenades, and your melee hits. This, you got none of that in your way. Yeah. Everything is at your disposal. It's you learning to do it better every time that, you feel like you're developing.
Yeah.
Right.
It is
a
not
unique form.
anytime you come up against something that you can't beat, it's not because, oh shoot, I haven't leveled up enough and I don't have
Exactly.
the right ability to do that. No, it's because you either didn't prep well enough or you just half-assed it. You didn't go in serious.
Yeah. Like Skill Up, a reviewer that I think most of us like a lot, Monster Hunter feels like Predator. You're in the woods with this thing that if you give it a second, it'll tear you to shreds. And that's the adrenaline rush that I have when I play this game. That's like it's constantly there. It's when you're taking off a big boss, like, okay, am I going to get it this time, or am I going to have that one mistake that's going to cost me the battle?
I just think it's funny because I hear you saying like, I hear you saying some of these things, and part of them they seem very contradictory. You guys have talked about. One of my things was, everything off the bat, right? And that's a big downer for me. Probably because I just feel like any time that I've been in anything in my life where I thought that I had like a good grasp on stuff, I've always had that moment where I'm like, imagine that. I had no idea that this thing did that. And I learned how to do something else, no matter like any situation I've been in. I mean, I've played drums for 28 years now. Every day I see somebody pick something up, I'm like, man, I never thought about that. So I could use all that experience and learn something from somebody who's just been, not even half the time that I've done what I've done, and it's just like to be able to go into a situation and be like, oh, you're already a badass and you're going to go into this place that you've never been, to monsters that you don't know, haven't killed, don't know how to fight, got to figure it out. And you're not going to learn anything new because you're a badass.
Well, it's not necessarily. It's you have everything at your disposal. You're not a badass. I mean, you start to get, you learn everything. You learn how to mitigate your. Go ahead.
I'm with Ben. I'm going to say that your comparison fits even better. Actually, I mean, if you're a drummer, you've got a drum kit and 2 sticks in front of you. Then what you do with it is that's you. It's the game is the same way. It puts the tools in front of you, and then whether you're going to succeed or not, and what is all on you.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, instead of having like some yard sale upright piano that I got at Facebook, I am given the Steinway right off the bat, but I still don't know how to play really well. I still don't know what, it's going to sound beautiful, but I have to learn. It's going to take me a while. And that's kind of like what we're doing. We have these awesome skills, but our instruments are kind of crap right now. And our skills, our reaction times, muscle memory, everything's kind of developing still. And I'm finally starting to get into my groove with my lance and able to feel like I'm contributing and fitting into my role and, et cetera. So,
and
it's different.
Like Ben, you with your lance, you're a rock drummer and then you pick up another weapon. You're learning jazz. It's, your experience is not necessarily there with everything else.
Right. That's true.
So agree to disagree, but that's, I'm not trying to sway you like this. That ship has sailed, but I mean, it's just like.
It's just interesting because it's if I look at things in the way I see things, it's like in one moment I see what you're saying, and everything matches up, and then you say something else, and it's like, well, that's not. That's not what you're just talking about. That's so. Oh man, you're sounding.
I know. Stupid phone.
Oh darn,
man.
We've lost.
Oh, Jen is heartbroken.
Yeah.
What will we do? All right. All right. So.
Well, on that note, we're thinking of streaming some of our hunts. If anyone's interested in watching us, not Josh.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'd be fun to watch and listen to.
Although, you know what would be awesome is if we do stream these things and then Josh does like some sort of like Steve Irwin voiceover in an Australian accent. And he can be super nasty about it too. He can be like, yo, this fucking game. But here we have Legion on. I think it'd be pretty good.
Hey, got this giant chicken.
He could have just rolled out of the way, but he has to change direction manually. And there he goes. And
I wonder if this guy could find the weapon that's a giant jug of peanut oil. That might take care of it.
Oh man.
Nope.
Chuck Testa.
Well, Do we have any closing points, or have we said all we need to say?
Looking forward to Red Dead 2.
Yep.
Excited for that.
That too.
But
Unfortunately delayed, but
yeah,
They can take their time with it as long as they get it right.
that's
yeah.
true.
Truth. I'm torn. I mean, have we talked about that? I don't know if we've talked about that on here, but like, I didn't really like Red Dead, but I'm gonna get it because everybody's gonna be playing it, and I have fear of missing out like a mofo. So I am
That's
peer
FOMO.
pressure succumbing to the fact that I'm just gonna get this game. So that's where we are.
Well, if you like GTA Online, I mean, there's the combat in the first one's very similar to Grand Theft Auto. You got it. There was a great story in the first one.
The combat being the thing,
Yeah,
that's what I don't like.
I'm not the biggest fan of it either, personally, but I enjoyed the first one a lot.
And I'm not big, like the theme, the whole Wild West, like I just not really my thing. Yeah, I don't know. I will hopefully like it more than GTA, because GTA I can't play GTA by myself. I can't. The only reason I play that is because it's fun when we get in a group and have shenanigans. Like, that's what's fun, but I cannot stand playing GTA.
Huh.
Yeah, I tried. You remember when that glitch came out where you had to be like to a certain point in the story? Or
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah. The actual story. You mean? Well,
Yeah.
probably online too.
I tried so hard just to be like, okay, I can do this. No, I can't stand it. Oh God, I can't. I hate playing that game. Oh, it's bad. But it's fun to play online with you guys and do crazy things. Like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I just I won't play it by myself. But anyway, there's a lot of games that are like that. I won't play by myself. Rocket League. It's fun, but I'm not by myself. No, thank you. Not that good.
It's still fun. I tell you what, though, if you put yourself in a little season, where it's just all, bots and you really get a good idea of kind of how to chase the ball down, how to get to different spots, hitting stuff out of the air. Like, your skill level kind of jumps pretty well just from that. Now, don't do what I mistakenly did and go to immediately a 27 game season. Because reasons. But it's a good run.
I'm not
especially
saying
because
it's not a fun game for some people. I just don't want to play by myself. Me.
Do we have any opinions about the whole Bungie Destiny situation, or is it just a dead horse now? We need to move on.
I think that everything that can possibly be said has been said by everybody everywhere constantly at this point.
Do you think there'll ever be a resurgence for it, or is it Destiny right now? Or at least 2, maybe 3 might be a success. Is there something that they can do that'll bring you back?
I don't know.
I saw a headline. Yeah, I saw a headline go by saying that the new Valentine's Day event, that they're finally getting the whole looting and rewarding system right with what they're doing with it. But for me, it feels like it's too little too late. Like, I want them to fix it, but it's so broken that I don't know if they'll be able to recover from it.
Yeah, I saw that headline too, and I was like flabbergasted. Like, they're still on the freaking loot boxes, like the Eververse.
Yep.
They haven't even that's the main issue that everything seems to be surrounding right now. It's like, what about the other stuff, man? Like, why is this still a problem? Yep. It's a shame.
I see the headlines go by. I don't even click them for more details at this point because I just don't care.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you gather what you need to know from the headlines.
Yeah.
That's enough. It's still broken. And the review sites don't even pretend to spare the feelings of anybody anymore. They're just
exactly. Even
broken.
It was GameStop, I think. Even
you showed us that.
Yeah, which kind of shocked me because it wasn't it was an editorial, but they didn't do it under his name. It's under GameStop's name, saying that goodbye Destiny, hello Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
This is
a headline
my thing now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely keep you guys posted on the developments. and when Josh inevitably regrets selling his copy. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
It's gonna be a long wait on that regretting thing.
It is very sad. Like I was really hoping you would see something in it that you liked, but
we respect you, man. I mean, it's a valid opinion. I'm not going to lie. There are definitely, it is what it is. It's one of those games that just will click with some and not with others.
Yeah. And like we said, I mean, the whole reason we bought it was because we knew that literally everyone else in our group and even some new people that joined us are going to be playing it. We didn't want you to feel left out. We wanted to give you that shot and to see, if there's that one chance you'll end up liking it, well, great, we've got you in the squad too, but alas.
Hey, and any listeners out there who do play the game, we have a pretty sweet squad that's constantly doing stuff, so...
Yeah, we haven't had a crew this big since Destiny 1.
That's true.
Yep.
You guys are always rolling threes, so there's always at least a missing. You might have to wear one of those fake beards, but
anytime I fight Nergigante now, I'll just picture him with a giant ass beard. It'll be nice. I'll have you there in spirit.
The application for the fourth spot. Please say meh.
and have beard.
Yes.
Have beard will travel.
We can arrange fake beard. Like, that can happen. It's not going to ever be as good as the real thing, but
And the dad jokes, please. That is a critical feature.
Give us your best dad joke. As the three of us stand there with our clipboards, give us your best dad joke.
And dank memes also. Oh, chat.
I figured you guys wouldn't want that in there. That would be your
no, that's so Josh, man. We need that. I enjoy them. I laugh. Jen's the one that gets these emojis of Spacey Face. Or not, sorry, Disgracey Face.
Yes.
I don't even know why we had this conversation. Josh, we're not kicking you out of anything.
I'll still be there in the background. I just won't be hunting. I'll be hitting giant soccer balls with my car.
Which I usually get talked into. Like, there's Monster Hunter, and then he's like, let's be Rocket League. And I'm like, okay. Every freaking time, because it's fun. I can't help it.
That last, the time I played with you guys was like really my first time. How many people did we have there? That was like a good group. That was fun as hell.
5 there, and we talked Ryan into it last night. Ryan just out of the blue was like, heard us talking about it, and he's like, and then he bought it, and he's like, he was immediately hooked.
Yeah, he said, why didn't I buy this a long time ago?
Why didn't you just get it when it was free?
Yeah, I'm surprised because it was a PS Plus freebie, right? So
yeah.
That's why I have it.
I'll give it a shot to you guys too. I haven't played it since I got it as a freebie. I think fired it up once and that's it. So count me in to definitely give it a try.
Yeah, I'm not sure I ever played it. Well, I did play it some, but I wouldn't have it if it wasn't free at that one point.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The thing that sucks is the moment that I bought my PlayStation was a couple of days after they ended that freebie.
Oh.
So.
There it is. PETA.
Speaking of PETA, I wonder what they have to say about all this, murderous monstering. If it's anything like
joke.
the one,
no, not
if it's anything like the one random.
What?
Wait, the wheels are still turning. What's going on?
PETA, PETA, the animal rights.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not PETA.
I just wonder because after the one stupid person that tried to get Steven Spielberg in trouble for posing next to the quote unquote.
Oh God!
Oh my God, that was fantastic.
Wait, what?
With the Triceratops from Jurassic Park, and they're saying, "Oh my God, how could you kill it?"
No.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Like George Carlin said, think of the average intelligence of a human being and then realize that half of them are dumber than that. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but...
Fair enough. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I think we might be done here.
Yeah. I'm off to kill some monsters. Who's coming with me?
Me too! Let's do it!
Not Eyes of the Cat.
And then Rocket League.
Aw. Well, Josh... Maybe you can hang out with us anyway. We're awfully cool, though.
That's what I hear,
From people, word on the street is that we're kind of cool like that.
Other random people that hunt things but also play car soccer.
I mean, car soccer is fun. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's it then. So,
all right.
Until next time.
Have a great time. Throughout the whole, everyone's feelings and making their cases.
Let's share our feelings, you guys. Let's have a powwow. Kumbaya.
We have Dan and Jen who are pretty gung-ho about it. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, more towards awesome, but, I can definitely understand the other side. And I think Josh is leaning towards not liking it.
Leaning towards.
I think we're
slightly
well past that.
Slightly. I'm listing towards not liking it.
Listing aimlessly towards.
Yes.
Listing the game on Facebook Marketplace, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's great.